This will be one of the wildest stories you have ever heard. Trust me, stay tuned, listen to it all. Won't be disappointed. I'm Sham and I'm back with a brand new track. I'm going to be talking to you guys about wild times in Sin City, Las Vegas. So I got there in January of 2022, was homeless in Detroit, couple months in the streets, rough times, freezing weather. I was sleeping in a parking garage of a casino, and I like really wanted to film urbex because I'd done a ton of urbex there, but lost my footage. My car broke down, and that's actually how I got in the streets. Is I boiled everything down to a couple bags, scrapped the car, and here I am, 4 or 5 years in the streets now because of that event. So my buddy saw me just kind of roaming around, and it's always good to have somebody to check you. It's awesome to have support. Guys, really, I am very blessed to have built up a friendship group. People on social media have reached out. It's only actually been this year, last several months, that I've actually been able to meet people in person. And it's a big benefit, more so in ways that you can't imagine. And one of them, I think the biggest one, is to have somebody to check you, somebody to look out for you, to be like, hey dude, you're going too far. Reel it back. Let's get you some help. Let's get you some direction. And there we go. So my buddy saw me just freaking roaming around in Detroit to my demise. I was living on top of an abandoned hospital in freezing weather. And he's like, dude, you can't do this anymore. Let me fly you to Vegas. So I got there, and this is what happened. So I get to Vegas, and I'd been there a couple of years before in my rubber tramping days, from Oregon to Jacksonville, Florida. Went to the Flamingo Hotel, parking garage, went up to the last floor, the part that was furthest away from the actual hotel casino, floor down on the stairwell, and that's where I slept. And I'd been there for 8 hours just scouting the scene, hanging out. Nobody came around. Then I really had to use the bathroom, grabbed my stuff, went into the casino, and they're like, you can't take your bags in. I really had to go, so I went back to the stairwell, and again, I hadn't seen anybody 8 hours. I knew it was big risk, left my stuff there, went into the bathroom, came back 15 minutes later, everything was gone. I mean, this is as low as you can get. So from there, slowly built back up, and I was trying to find a more permanent place in Vegas. So first spot I found, I went to one of the eastern suburbs, saw this big park. I'm roaming around, and I see this big group of people approaching me. As they get closer, it's like a dozen high school, middle school students, and the two biggest ones from high school came up to me, and they're demanding money, and they're coming at me aggressively. So I've had enough, and I come at them, and I take off my hoodie, and all of a sudden they yell, "The guy's a Fed!" And they all run off. So thankfully, whatever reason, I was able to scare them. So I definitely got lucky there in terms of being attacked by a group. Spent a couple days there. Wasn't the best area, as you can tell. Literally, I went to like a nearby plaza, Walmart, tried to sleep in front, got kicked out. And I was so tired, I was really sick at that point. And I slept behind electrical junction box, one of those green boxes you see on the side of the sidewalk. I literally slept behind there, almost on the sidewalk, you could say, because I was that tired. A couple hours in, I got woken up by this dude asking me if I wanted a prostitute. And it's like, what the hell is going on here? So those are just like a foreshadow of the insanity of Las Vegas, you know? Churches are a good spot to sleep at. So I found the nearby one, a Korean church. And again, I had nothing on me except the clothes on my back, cell phone, wallet. And I'm like sitting against the wall trying to go to sleep. And the desert at night in the winter is freezing. I know it sounds kind of weird, but freezing weather, I'm there just like shivering. A couple hours later, I wake up and there's this Korean dude shoving money in my face. And he's like, hot dog, hamburger, you know, go, 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 go. It was like a $10 bill. And that's how I got shooed off. It was just, later on I was laughing like hell because it's like, dude, it's 5 a.m. and you're talking to me about like hamburgers and hot dogs. So I relocate again and I find this outdoor parking stairwell, Silver Sevens Casino, Las Vegas, Paradise Boulevard. I'm sleeping under there and I wake up to this dude trying to like come in through the metal bars that, you know, prevent people from coming in. And I'm like freaking trying to shove this guy. Come on, I'm here. You know, get out of my space. I'm shoving this guy back. Just a wild night. And then one of those nights, as I'm coming back to that sleep spot, I go in the casino to use the bathroom. I'm using the bathroom. A couple minutes in, I hear this person yelling like, get out, you need to get out of here. And I come out and it's a security guard. And as I'm leaving, I finally face him and I'm like, listen, dude, like, why are you being so disrespectful and whatever? And we're like chest to chest and he's talking to me about being some karate expert and this and that. And he gets on his like microphone and then all of a sudden this dude who's also in a security jacket comes and like runs full speed at me. And at the last second I turn and the guy freaking falls on the ground and I'm sitting there just laughing. You know, they tell me get out of here, blah, blah. So that place is blown up and I find a nearby parking garage because I'd been using like Panera Bread as my daytime spot to chill. I was a hardcore addict back then in that stairwell, vomiting my guts out, literally straight up battery acid, had my hands on my phone, ready to dial 911, literally a very low moment in my life. So thankfully I was able to make it out. So after I got kicked out of that parking garage near the Panera Bread, I found this other spot at a park down the road. So I target transit lines, something that can get me directly in and out of wherever I need to be. And as I'm gonna head to that park that I found, these three young guys pass me by and then all of a sudden I hear, give me your bags. And I turn around and the bags, the last 4 or 5 years, my entire livelihood is based on what I can carry. So this is my life and I'm willing to fight for it. Background as a top wrestler, MMA fighter, all that stuff. I will not back down, period. One of them sucker punches me. I take him down and we're like in the middle of Paradise Boulevard, one of the main roads in Las Vegas. We're wrestling around. I'm on top of him. Then I start feeling kicks on my side from the other two. And my bags are a little bit away from me and I see one of them grab my bags. I run, tackle him, my bags get loose. And it's just this weird like roundabout thing where, you know, I'm attacking somebody, my bags are there, somebody grabs them, I'm after that guy, blah, blah. After a few minutes, they run off down the street and there's like this, we're in the middle of the street and there's like dozens of cars backed up. There's hundreds of people around the plaza, nothing, no help. The age of social media is how can I get a viral video? And I call the police. Guess what? I am the only call that comes through. That is how sad society is. But these guys are so dumb, they just kept running down the main road and they got caught 5-10 minutes later. We ended up going to court and they got 6 months of prison time because it was a felony attempted robbery. I showed up to court. I was just so pissed. I was staring them down, mouthing, I will kill you. It was one of the most enraged times I've had because you are literally trying to steal my life. After that, I found another park in Vegas. I'm sleeping on a park bench and I get woken up by somebody shoving a $20 bill in my face asking for crystal meth, like to buy. And I'm like, I just jumped literally out of my sleeping bag and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Get the F away from me, blah, blah. And I'm like, I need to find a better place. This is a trial and error. Whenever you're homeless in the streets, especially in major cities, sometimes it takes time to find an adequate spot. Finally, I found a solid spot in the outskirts. Vegas is very tough to find because of lack of vegetation, but I found this spot behind a bush. And I'm chilling there, and this one old guy spots me, and he comes around the park every morning. And for whatever reason, he wanted to park himself right by where I'm at. And anybody who came by, he talked really loud. "Oh, there's a guy behind that bush," and blah, blah, like trying to expose me and stuff like that. Faced, opposition from the start, and I did what I could. Then I met a fellow homeless guy, old guy there. We got into conversation, really great person. And then I wake up one night to this fire, and the dude had lit himself on fire trying to commit suicide, and fire trucks came by, ambulance. Just a sad scenario, but I'm just trying to kind of highlight the case of how wild my experience was there. Anyway, so I was in Vegas for most of 2022, sleeping there. And then I flew to Chicago at the end of October 2022. Various reasons, another insane story that I will eventually tell. Very deep, just, it hurts me to even think about it. Extremely, it's crazy, nuts. I did come to Vegas, last year, went to the same spot, and I got caught by city marshals, which is a specific police in Las Vegas that is meant for the parks. During open hours, I was just laying down on a park bench, playing around with my phone, and I got cited for misusing park amenities, anti-homeless law, 100%. And I totally forgot about it, and that's why now I have a warrant for my arrest in Las Vegas because of that. And I, moved on to this, sleeping on top of this sky bridge in a nearby parking garage. That was the last time I was in Vegas. So it just shows you the extreme measures you have to go when you're a hobo, when you're homeless, and you're just trying to find a spot to sleep. It's not as easy as it seems. I have one of the most diverse journeys possible, and this is a story that I just wanted to tell to kind of highlight that. Wild times in Sin City.